Hello, bonjour, bienvenidos, benvenuti, welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. This being the Music Polyglot channel, you'll find good quality subtitles down there. This is our second video on our Economics of Music video series. Today we're going to talk about the price and the value of music. Thrilling stuff. Today, music is free. Is that a problem? Up until the turn of the century, if you wanted to control the music you listened to, you had to own a copy. So people bought CDs, cassette tapes, vinyl, etc., which most people thought was a fair deal. Then the internet got a little faster and you could send other things than email. So peer-to-peer networks like Napster or LimeWire appeared, and suddenly you could send digital music files anywhere in the world for free. As we know, this proved irreversible, and better services eventually emerged, some regulation followed, and now we have the likes of iTunes and Spotify. Music became essentially free. Today, I want to ask you a question. Is that a good thing? Well, let's explore both sides of the coin, shall we? On one side, we have an argument that could go perhaps as follows. Music being free is clearly a good thing. I mean, how could it not be a good thing? When you had to pay for music, there was only a limited amount of music you could actually afford. Artists saw very little of this money anyway, as label executives and people who had nothing to do with the music got rich. When music is free, you can afford to listen to all music. Thinking about equality, when you had to pay for music, only a very small percentage of the population could afford to buy any music at all. Now it's a lot fairer because everyone can have access to music. You could argue it's even good for musicians, as now they can have their music available to the whole world, whereas before, small acts would never have been known outside a very small area around where they were active. Even for working musicians who don't record, having the whole catalogue available to us at our fingertips allows us to have unlimited references and resources that before were unthinkable. All that is true. So, case closed. Stupid video. Free is always better than not free. Bye now! Well, not so fast. There actually is a flip side to that coin. We actually have two things that could perhaps prove problematic. Tell me what you think. You can leave your insults in the comments below. Music may well be free to obtain, but it's not free to make. So, who pays for that difference? You can say, well, look, it doesn't really matter because there are still thousands of new artists every year, thousands of new albums, millions of new songs. There's never been more music, actually, so what are you talking about? What's your point? Yeah, actually, that's part of my point because I agree with all that and I'd go even further. As the great Rick Beato often says, the best musicians in the world are alive today. You can see them every day on YouTube and Instagram. There's unbelievable talent. So how come there's no new Exile on Main Street then? No new White Album, or Black Album for that matter, or Kinda Blue, or What's Going On? How come there's no new Wish You Were Here, or a new Nevermind? If the best musicians ever are alive today, why don't we have a new OK Computer? Oh, but In Rainbows was free, and that one was even better. Yeah, funny no one ever replicated the model, isn't it? We'll talk more about that one on our next video, but it's certainly something to think about, right? If free music made everything better, more democratic and accessible, and more extremely talented musicians are alive now than ever before, and it's true that great music comes out all of the time, but shouldn't we have a constant flow of the best music ever coming out year after year? The second thing I want to talk to you about is value. So what's the value of music when its price is zero? Let's unpack that. Price is objective, it's a number, it's an agreement between a buyer and a seller, whereas value is subjective. I exchange my money for a guitar because I value the guitar more than I value the money. The shop sells it to me because they value my money more than they value the guitar. So if the price of music is zero, does that mean that the value also goes to zero? Well, I just said that value is subjective, so everyone will value music differently. But let's do a little thought experiment. Let's say your phone, right? You probably paid a decent price for it, probably are still paying for it on your monthly bills. Perhaps you know how much it's worth. Because you know that, perhaps you bought a protective case to better take care of it. Maybe even a film to protect the screen, perhaps even insurance in case something happens. You probably appreciate the quality of its camera or the speed of its processor. You attach some value to it. We could probably say is very much in line to the price you paid, right? I bet it'd be incredibly annoying if you flushed it down the toilet. But then probably not the end of the world. It was expensive, but not that expensive. Well, in this case, you could say that price and value are aligned. But does price affect your subjective value? Now, let's imagine that you get a 10-carat diamond worth over $1 million. You may not care about shiny rocks, and therefore you attach no value to it, but you know it's worth $1 million. You are going to handle it with care. You are going to look at it carefully. You are going to hold it carefully. You're going to take good care of it, even if you attach no value to it, just because of the price. Let's do the opposite. Air. How valuable is air? Well, it's by far the most valuable thing any human has. You literally die within 15 minutes without it, so it's the most valuable thing on planet Earth. How much of your day do you spend contemplating the marvelous fact that you're surrounded by this extremely valuable air and you're able to breathe it in everywhere you go? How long do you spend thinking about the air traveling into your lungs and out again? Well, if you meditate, maybe a little. If you exercise, perhaps from time to time. Or perhaps just once or twice every few weeks as you reach the top of a hill or when you go to the seaside after a long time and you purposefully breathe in. Air is the most valuable thing we have. We should prefer to sit and enjoy breathing rather than doing anything else, but we don't because air is free and abundant. Now look, I'm not saying it shouldn't be, okay? Don't get any crazy ideas. But you see what's going on here. It seems that although value and price are two different things, one affects the other. Now think about that CD that you paid $20 for back in the day, in the late 90s, if you were alive then. What did you do with it? Well, you listened to that baby, probably many times. You probably read the lyrics and the notes. You even listened to the crappy filler songs towards the end, at least once. You attached more value to it than to the songs you streamed yesterday, didn't you? And because you did, you also built stronger ties to that music. So my final question, now that we don't have to pay for music, is it worth less to us? And if so, is that good? Anyone who's read a little economics will be saying, oh, Andres, you left one huge thing out of your thought experiments. When you were talking about air, I said we didn't really value it in accordance to the real value it provides to us because it's free and abundant. Abundant being the key word here. Things that are scarce tend to be valuable and therefore expensive. Music's price went to zero, not because it lost its value, it's clearly still valuable, but because it was no longer scarce. It was instantly replicable. Why would you pay for a copy that you can make yourself with one click? In our next video, we'll explore this a little further. Can music actually be worth anything other than zero if it's not scarce? So, is free music then a bad thing? Well, it depends whether you agree that a price of zero decreases its value and whether you think that music should be valuable for a society. That's as far as we're going to get to today. We're going to follow this up in a further video, but let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked the discussion and you like what we do, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, click on that bell icon so that YouTube notifies you when more videos come up. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima, arrivederci, au revoir.